Kevin Kelly, all of them trying to make sense of what's going on this market. And here's the basic question for everybody. Is terror catching up with our markets? To you first, sir.
I don't think so. I think the slow global growth story is catching up with the markets. If you look at the price of copper, you look at oil isn't even really moving off of this. I mean, if you think terror's catching into it, you'd see the price of oil spike, and that hasn't happened. I think basically the global growth story is finally factoring in.
Well, you got oil at $43 a barrel. I'm not saying that's a spike, but it's up 3%, 43.
Yeah, even the most efficient operators are in a bind at $40 in oil, and you can see that. Even BP's CEO said, listen, we expect lower for longer. $50 is what everybody's been forecasting. At this price, there's going to be a big shakeout. I mean, if the globe was growing, we'd see 50, and also if terror was a big thing, we'd see it shoot up 8%, 9%.
Very
10%.
interesting. Todd Horwitz, is terror catching up with our markets? Go.
Good morning, Stuart. No, I don't think so. I think that money is always the key driver, and until the U.S. becomes not the place to invest, they're going to continue to invest in U.S. stocks and U.S. equities because of what's happening globally with the other economies. The terror effect has really not shown us. We saw this with the Paris terrorist attacks last week, that nobody is really concerned about the terror attacks when it comes to investing their money. Big funds are still driving the U.S. equities on the ever chase for yield. We see gold sitting very stagnant, up about $10 today, off of a 5-year low. Oil, as Kevin said, is up $1. But again, overall, we're seeing no indication that the markets are going to be worried about this fear as money still flows in. Yeah. This is probably just another buying opportunity, as bearish as I am.
Well, very interesting, Liz.
I'm going to give you a different geopolitical take on the oil market. Algeria, Angola, Nigeria, Venezuela, all saying to the big guys, you have to raise oil prices. We are facing societal unrest. They will meet, OPEC will meet December 4th. If you have societal unrest due to low oil prices, low government revenue streams, that means that this destabilization in the Middle East, in these smaller states, you could see more terrorist activity coming out of those states. That's the fear.
On the left-hand side of your screen, you are looking at video shot earlier this morning of a Russian jet being downed by Turkey. And that's what set off the market movement much earlier this morning when the Dow went straight down triple digits. We're now down 81 points as the trading moves on. We've got 3.5 minutes worth of trading. We're into this day, and we're down 80 points. Take a look at airline stocks. I mean, I've been saying this all morning, that if you go out and about and you're traveling this holiday week, you're going to see machine guns at our airports and train stations. So look at the airlines. We also have a worldwide travel alert issued, a new travel alert, by the way, issued this morning by the State Department. And look what's happening to the airlines. All of them down. Not a huge amount, but all of them are down. Liz.
36 affiliates with ISIS. That's all you got to know. It's not just ISIS, it's affiliates who can wreak havoc around the world. That's what the warning is about. That's part of the warning. And the other thing, too, is when you start to close in on these terrorists, they may get desperate and do something, an extraordinary act, a spectacular act, because that's a force multiplier propaganda-wise. They could explode one guy could explode a suicide vest once they start to get cornered.
All right, Kevin, we're down 80 points. I have to go back to the theme that this is a very, very nervous world. Brussels locked down 4 days in a row. Paris getting really upset about what happened there recently and all kinds of restrictions on their movement. And that shoot down, we keep showing it, that happened this morning. There is high anxiety here.
Yeah, there's a lot of high anxiety, but this week is really focused on a lot of data that the Fed's going to be predicated on for their December meeting. So yesterday, existing home sales, today the GDP number. But what we've seen is basically the U.S. market and investor and economy has decoupled from the worldwide. We've seen that because the emerging markets
sure has.
It's completely decoupled. And we're the safe area to invest. And we're seeing that, whether it is the airlines or anything else, airlines are almost near 52 highs.
But his corporate profit story is right. I mean, it's the worst performance first 3 quarters since 2009, down, dramatically over 3%. And revenues are down, too, for the first 3 quarters for the S&P 500. Those are S&P 500.
I'm just trying to get used to the idea that it's a very, very nervous world. There are developments every hour on the terror front. We keep showing it right there. And yet the Dow is down only 85 points.
Because this is part of the course for the Russians. I mean, they've consistently poked their nose where it hasn't belonged. They don't want to adhere to fly zones. They're putting naval ships where they shouldn't be. i.e. Sweden, right? So, I mean, this isn't a big deal. And then, news is coming out. Listen, they were in Turkey's airspace, right? And Turkey did contact them. Now, whether that's true or not, I mean, you have a high anxiety region, and then an incident like this happens, nobody can really be too surprised. And I think investors in this market, it's like, listen, this is par for the course for that region.
All right, we're down 80 points for the Dow Industrials. The airlines, the worldwide terror alert for Americans traveling overseas, all of the airlines are down 1 or 2% thus far today. Can we see, please, I want to take a look at a couple of defense stocks, which have done very, very well recently, bearing in mind what's going on overseas. A couple of them reached all-time highs yesterday. Can we show me this morning, where are we now? Because that would be a defensive play. Go to defense stocks when the world is in turmoil, and we're down. Raytheon is down $1. Lockheed Martin is down 84 cents. Okay, they all moved way up yesterday and the week before, but now, this morning, despite the shoot down, we're down a point on Raytheon and down on Lockheed. Any comment, Kevin?
Yeah, because it's a general market theme, right? I mean, earnings have already come out, so you're going to see the market really move in lockstep with each other, right? So all the sectors and everything, because everyone's basically trading on macro news. So as
both of those stocks are up 17% this year.
Yeah,
so that's a very,
true.
very modest pull.
Well, yeah, of course, but I mean, right now you're not seeing any news particular to them come out, right? So it's general market sentiment happening. Everyone's waiting for the Fed, and everyone's just kind of basing off the general news.
You've all convinced me that the terror threat is not a big deal on Wall Street, and I'll take your word for it because we're down only 80 points. How about the price of gasoline? Total shift. Let's have a look at that, please. I believe that the national average on gas is now down to $2.06 a gallon. Literally, 206 down. We're falling about a penny per gallon per day. Todd Horwitz, come in, please. I want some good news here. I am pounding the table for $2 gas by Thanksgiving morning or next week. Am I going to get it?
You are going to get it because Gas Buddy says $1.99 by Thanksgiving morning, and you're going to see what you want. You got your wish a month early because you actually wanted it for Christmas originally. Now you're getting it for Thanksgiving. So when you're enjoying that turkey, you can go out. You can probably get gas at $1.60 in New Jersey.
Yes, actually, I'm paying about $1.78 at the moment. As I drove in this morning, see it on Route 4, $1.78. But look, if we're saving all of this money from lower gas prices, Todd, tell me, why is the economy not expanding at a better than 2% growth rate? Why not?
Because I don't think we're seeing real growth, Stuart. I think the real problem is that the middle class themselves have never come out of recession. You can look at the jobs number, but the overall guy has to work more than one job just to pay his bills. So the extra money they're getting back from the gas pump, they're really just paying their rent, their mortgage. If they got kids in college, whatever, they're paying to live versus paying to enjoy. And that has been the major disconnect between the policies that we've been running and the overall expansion on Wall Street compared to what's happening with the middle class. The middle class has not been a benefactor of what is happening on Wall Street here.
All right, we hear it. Now, I want to go to the New York Stock Exchange. More on the travel alert. Nicole, how about the cruise ship lines?